So great. So why don't we start off, and why don't you tell the folks what Ledger does?
Yeah, sure. So I'm one of the co-founders of Ledger, and I don't know if some of you know about Ledger. It's like we're designing tools to secure crypto assets. And we initially started with consumer products to help you safeguard your crypto assets. So basically, if you've got some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some other type of crypto, you may want to store them securely if you don't want to lose everything. And the best practice is to make sure that the keys are stored, generated, and managed in an offline environment. And we designed what is called hardware wallet that makes that process an order of magnitude easier than what it was like storing your crypto assets. So that's the first type of product we're doing, and we're working on some enterprise solution, basically helping institution do proper key management. And later on, I think that's mostly like for the 3 to 5 years play, it's building some tools, some infrastructure for IoT devices to kind of talk together and transact on a blockchain-based infrastructure.
So cool. Just real quick, why don't you go back just to, and what were you doing before you started Ledger?
So before Ledger, myself, I actually graduated in 2010. I founded the first startup with my co-founder, which was like a mobile price comparison app. It's a company that we sold in 2013. And during that 2013, we were very excited about crypto. And as soon as we, was Bitcoin at the time, as soon as we sold the company, we dedicated 100% of the time to crypto and to Bitcoin, building Ledger as part of that.
And why did you decide to start Ledger? What was the problem you were looking to solve?
So the first thing is that we got really excited about Bitcoin and kind of realized that that was something pretty big and that it was worth spending our time on. So we did not know really what to do on that, but we kind of like, iterated on different products. And one key big issue about crypto is the fact that it's incredibly powerful in some sense, but all the security is shifted from the central entity to the edge of the network. So we knew that if we wanted that technology to scale, well, you needed to have the right tool, the right infrastructure to secure the private keys on the edge of the network. So we knew it was a massive big problem. Kind of met with different teams, try and build the best possible team based in France. Some people were working in the smart card industry, some other people like in that specific space, and we kind of got together to launch like some dedicated devices, security devices to handle key management only for Bitcoin at the time, kind of shifted to multiple crypto. That's the genesis of Ledger.
And when was the initial product introduced?
So we I don't know, maybe some of you remember in the room, we had a first product that was the Ledger Nano, which was just like a USB smart card that stored your keys, signed your transactions. So that was the original product launched in late 2014. And this one, the Nano S, was introduced in mid-2016. That's where we started really to get the product market fit at that time, yeah.
And what was the major difference between the two that got the product market fit?
Oh, it was like in terms of form factor, it's just that it has a screen and a keyboard, so you had the ability to validate on the device what you were about to sign. So added a layer of security, and I guess in terms of product, it was a Bitcoin-only wallet, and Nano S supported Bitcoin, Ethereum, a bunch of other coins. So it was really during the shift from one crypto type of world to a multiple crypto type of world. And I guess 2016, 2017 was also a time where if you wanted to participate in, at the time, all the exciting stuff about like having, benefiting from a fork, participating in ICO, interacting with smart contract, well, you need to have your own keys and you needed to have, strategies to own your keys, and Ledger was said to be the best of one.
And now kind of what's the product roadmap going forward?
So, so the product roadmap, I think we focus a lot. We spend a lot of time building like an ecosystem around the product and all the APIs and SDK that we have on top of our product, and we really want to have like as many developers working on integrating Ledger with their coins, with their decentralized applications, so that they they can have like benefit from the security of this device, and we can benefit from having more and more type of application to use with Ledger. In terms of roadmap, it's kind of simple. It's about like well, improving the experience of Ledger, having some valuable integration as part of them, and yeah, we'll be announcing some enterprise oriented products later on this year. So that's what the roadmap.
And when you talk about improving the experience, what are the major areas that you're focused on there?
So there's two components to the Ledger product. There's obviously the hardware part, that is the key management part. The keys are there, the signature are made there. And you've got all an interface to basically communicate with the blockchain. So it's just about like redesigning that. All our interfaces were designed back in the days, and we kind of went through the rush in 2017, trying to be in control of everything. So 2018 will be about radically improving the experience. We went from some people using ledgers in our product from some kind of a niche, like interested about crypto, and it's getting more and more mainstream. So our user base is changing, and the interfaces are changing as well in that process.
I mean, how do you talk about your user base in terms of whether it's volumes or geography or any other ways that you slice or dice it?
So there is just a few elements that we have on our users. Our product is privacy oriented. We don't collect that much data on our users. Well, in order of magnitude, the thing that we've communicated on is that we went through the 1 million units sold milestone. So that was in earlier this year. So that's to give you an order of magnitude. In terms of sale, it's pretty diverse. It's really, really well distributed. That's really funny. It's like third in America, third in Europe, third in Asia. And after, it's really, we don't have like details on the demographics, but what we see is that obviously it was something very niche-y, like 2 years back, and now we see like just people who enter the space and want to have like the right security setup from the very beginning. We've seen actually a lot of people just buying a ledger before buying any crypto because they just want to have something physical that they can feel, and it's reassuring to have your crypto on an actual piece of hardware, and it's actually a good security practice to do so. So it's really broadened the user base in terms of demographics.
How do users even find out about you if they haven't started buying any coins yet, or?
I think we have not spent like a single dollar on marketing, so it means that somebody was making marketing for us, and it was mostly like the community. I think the community understands that and value the fact that well, in crypto, to get the full extent of crypto, it's better to own your keys. Owning your keys is extremely hard, and we design a solution that is pretty much appreciated by that community. So I think that if you ask anybody how do you need to store your Bitcoin on an exchange, they will say no. Do I need to put it on my phone? They would say maybe no. Do I need to buy what do I do? Buy a hardware wallet. So that's as easy as that.
And so to date, obviously, most of your users have been individuals. You're talking about an enterprise application. So what do you have to do to be able to cross that chasm?
So the hardware wallets are extremely good, and I think we have a lot of enterprise players that use hardware wallets as part of their treasury management to safeguard their crypto assets. There's a lot of integration with multi-sig providers that have been made. So there are some options. I think that a lot of hedge funds, financial institutions who want to like get more and more involved in the space, they need to have like some proper enterprise-grade tools to secure this crypto asset. And it's mostly about governance. It's about like building some rights, governance policies on who can access the funds, in what condition can they access the funds, to what extent can they get access to this crypto. So it's really about building some governance on top of our products.
And then there's been a lot of talk here too about custodianship. How does custodianship work with the wallet? Who, from an enterprise, who holds the wallet? How do they audit the wallet?
Yeah, exactly. So we are not so much in the custodianship play, we have been able to sell our products in 160 countries just because we don't hold keys, and we just provide a tool for people to manage their own keys. So we don't want to be a custodian, we don't want to manage keys, and we really provide infrastructure, security infrastructure for people to securely manage their keys. So it's either for people who want to have their keys, or also with asset servicers or custodians that want to provide this crypto asset custodianship using some of our technology. So we're mostly in the infrastructure play rather than being a custodian ourselves.
And and it's obviously you sit in a really interesting place, the wallet. How has your business kind of changed as Bitcoin went from whatever 100 to 20,000 back down to where it is today, and is buying a wallet, is that a leading indicator of where Bitcoin or the other cryptocurrencies are going, or a lagging indicator?
Yeah, I think we made like a fun comparison back in 2015 with the price of Bitcoin and our turnover. There was like some kind of correlation. So yeah, obviously when there's more interest in crypto, people and the price goes up, there's more interest, and people kind of make some more research on the technology and how to store it. So yeah, we definitely benefit a little bit from the spikes. But yeah, so 2017 was obviously like a crazy year. And 2018 is like the price of Bitcoin is still like 5 or 6 times more than early 2017. So yeah, it's an indicator. And generally speaking, as the value of the token goes up, people spend more time researching on how to secure it, and they end up on some solution like ours for sure.
And obviously there are other wallet solutions. What's the reason you think people are choosing yours if they're doing the research over the competition?
So yeah, I think other hardware wallet companies have been doing pretty well because the demand for this type of products was very high. I think we benefited maybe a bit more from that trend, mostly because of the network of integration that we have. The fact that we have the ability to integrate with different types of crypto for people to develop support for this or this crypto, to have some integration with smart contracts, with more exchanges, more decentralized exchanges. So I guess the number of these integration and the pretty good reputation that we built, we benefited a bit more from that spike.
Can you talk about how you funded the company and plans going forward there?
So the equity story is we raised our first seed round back in 2015, February 2015, and in 2017 we made our A and B round, and the latest round was led by Dapps Syndicate, raised like $75 million. So that was the history, and today we're really focused on building like a technological giant in this new paradigm of blockchain, building like the security infrastructure for that technology. And we're based mostly in France. We've got some offices in San Francisco, and we just I think we're like 115 in the company right now. So really like building like all the infrastructure for that team right now.
And so where does the $75 million get you? Is that?
Well, it could bring us. We have a plan for profitability for sure. We're already profitable, but it's mostly to grow, to expand the team, to open the new markets where we are good at, but we could be even better, and building like the new products, namely this enterprise one that we're putting on the market right now.
And then the last question, how do you think about the community and the Ledger community, and how big a part does that play in the company and the product development?
I think we actually have like a very strong community of users because we just focused on doing something very simple, which was making a good product, which meant like a product that works, that is reliable, that is fairly priced, that arrives on time, that has a lot of integration. So really managed to build like a strong community of advocates, whether it be in the developer one, in just users. So for us, it's really big part of the company for sure.
Okay, terrific. Thanks a lot, Thomas.
Well, thanks a lot.